this is kind of a visualization of how the Aurum Project thinks about its members, its volunteers, and its research pod activity. We're all members of the Aurum Project, and some of us volunteer to support the activities in the Aurum Project, and some of us are involved in research activity. And the research is really a core part of the mission and vision of the Aurum Project. So it's really important. That's what's in the middle with members and volunteers. So the key thing about this image is that at the Aurum Project, we don't think of the Aurum Project as being hierarchical or flat. It's very interactive. So this kind of idea of the honeycombs is that there's very adjacent and interacting activities going on at many levels. And so this is kind of the best way we've got at the moment to describe what it is that we're doing in here. And I just want to share with you that idea that it's fluid, but it's formed. So it's not a rigid expression of what's happening in the Aurum Project. Anyway, we're here today to dive into this section here about research pods. So a pod is a group of Aurum Project members who've come together to undertake a research activity. They work together on a common topic with a common focus. So inside the group, they self-organize. They spend time sharing how they are, building their relationships and bonds with each other, both personal and professional. And they bring their whole self to the meetings, and through undertaking these research activities, they help increase the meaning and purpose of what the Aurum Project is. So we started the pod project in 2019, which feels like a decade ago now. And it was just before lockdowns happened in Australia and COVID took off. And one of the things that we found by starting this project is that it was a way to help strengthen our personal and professional capacity to be good practitioners, as well as enhance homeopathic research capacity in Australia. It's called the pod pathway. So there are 3 phases of this pathway. The idea creation phase, which is over here, it's quite an interactive phase. There's a lot of double-headed arrows here. There's a lot of movement. Ideas can be generated and created in many different ways in this section. And then there's another set of steps about officially creating a research pod, including ethics, and then another phase over here of lots of interactivity and thoughts and work, which leads to the actual research proposal. And there are other pathways after this, but this is kind of the zone of where we are right now. And so this looks like a very content-driven pathway, but it actually holds a lot more than the words that are just in these little circles. And the idea of showing you this too is that if you're not involved in a research project, there are many ways to get involved. A research pod is different to a conventional research team. So inside a research pod, the structure is flat. Members are clinical homeopaths, and they share the responsibility together of the research, including the generating of ideas, the project design and implementation, and how things get done. In contrast, traditional research groups, usually hierarchical, are usually made up of professional researchers, and they have particular roles that defined by a job description. So somebody might be in a team only to do one particular aspect. So this is a very important distinction about what we're doing here.